Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Spring Summoner Series hosted by Game Arena. I am Kyle, aka Comica, and I'm joined by Fabled, aka Justin, and we're in here with the final match of Pool Play. Let's take a look at what we got so far.
All right,
As you
looking
can
at the
see,
standings, we just had a fantastic upset by Hot Dog over UC Pink and an unprecedented loss, isn't that right? Yeah, and an unprecedented loss today, at least. And then you have the Jerks in second place today, and you have CSU Vikings playing for their spot. There's a potential they could lose it here if Indiana Tech does win.
yep, and I believe that's who we are going to be seeing here playing is Indiana Tech, the team that is fighting for that position. They're going to have to go up against one of our mainstays of the day in the Jerks. And oh, that is Lulu Kog'Maw. Ooh, you don't want to be going up
Yeah, Lulu
against.
Kog'Maw is scary, you're right. But at least you have a Jinx of your own. I would feel really, really bad if I picked Draven and the enemy team responded with Kog'Maw Lulu. I would probably cry. But considering we just responded with Jinx and Nami, I don't feel too bad. The Nami pick seems kind of weird to me, but maybe there's something I don't know.
I don't normally see Nami being picked with Jinx. I do agree. She is just a generally pretty good enchanter. And so I feel like maybe she's being picked generally for what she brings to the team rather than what she brings to the lane. And it just feels like a gap that's being left by some of their other picks that they have planned, I'm guessing.
I'm really liking the hovers that I'm seeing here for top lane. All of them fun melee fighters. We're gonna see our another Camille. All right, the return of the Jerks Camille. So Lulu, Kog'Maw, Camille. That is a very scary composition that can get very scary late. A lot of true
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah, so far definitely looking a little bit spooky for Indiana Tech, but we'll see what they have to pull up with in the mid lane and the jungle.
Indiana
Clearly, it's
Tech.
not going to be a Graves. Go
Indiana
ahead.
Tech has revealed like a really like safe core here. You have a nice bulky bruiser top laner who just doesn't die, right? Nami, who brings, like you said, good general support to the whole team, and then Jinx, who is a hyper scaling late game carry, right? Versus like there's no, they don't have to reveal the threat yet. There is so much potential for this team to go in different directions. They can really decide here based on the jungle and mid lane.
Yeah, very true. And I do believe the last time we saw the Jerks, they decided to go for a little bit of a split push type comp, and that still is available here, especially with Ambessa still being available. And they do get their Sejuani pick that I do believe they had the last time as well, and worked out very, very great for them. Sejuani's been another mainstay of the day that's just been getting an insane amount of kills.
Speaking of a mainstay of the day, Neferi is not banned right now, and is I feel like Neferi is about to get picked. But yeah, I mean, Neferi makes sense here. Except we're looking at a Nocturne hover. I am a Nocturne enjoyer personally, but I don't know that. I guess in this game, if your only job is to kill Kog'Maw, Nocturne is absolutely the way to do it. But oh,
Ooh, I love that hover.
oh,
Please.
oh, it's a pick.
Yes.
Oh, that's an Aurelia. Okay, all right, gamers. This listen up, chat. This is about to get exciting. So Aurelia mid lane, I'd presume. So
That is
Aurelia
correct.
mid into Orianna is going to be fun to watch.
Dude,
The
if
Orianna
there's
hopefully bullies properly, and then Aurelia just destroys later.
if there's one person I groan every time I get locked in against, it's Irelia, dude. Like if I'm playing Orianna myself, if I'm playing Swain, if I'm playing anyone else, all Irelia has to do stack up her Q, and then Q onto me and just auto the living daylight out of me, and it just takes me so long to get out of the lane
And the problem with
that you
Aurelia,
speed yourself away. It really sucks to fight against.
yeah, the problem with Aurelia though is not only does she slow you, not only is it brain dead easy to stack, not only is it reset, not only is it deals true damage a lot of the time. And then you have a Blade of the Rune King, which deals percent HP damage, which is absolutely a fair thing that should exist in this game. And it just shreds tanks. But looking at it, there's only one tank in the enemy team. It's a Cassante. But you really have to be worried about getting blown up by this Jinx Orianna. But not to mention, there's also the Orianna Nocturne combo, right? You can put the ball on Nocturne, then let Nocturne ult in and do like a 5-man shockwave. I'm not sure how viable it is, but it is a thing you can do.
It is a concept, yeah. It's you do have to be careful with like the distance though, because Oriana's ball distance is not very as long as people would think it is. So you do have to be cautious of how far you ult with the Nocturne, so that the Oriana can still get her ult without it snapping back to her. But I see what you mean. It is a thing you can do for sure.
Yeah, and then you can just shockwave it, and it's pretty cool. But honestly, let's take a look at this for a minute. If you're Indiana Tech, you need to protect your Jinx, and you kind of want to play through the Orianna through the mid to late, and then let Jinx carry at the end. If I'm the Jerks, we're just trying to keep this Kog'Maw alive until the Kog'Maw can hard carry, and we're hoping the Aurelia doesn't feed. And then the Aurelia can ideally carry the early game and just kind of run away with it, and the Kog'Maw's a insurance policy. But
Yeah, honestly, if I'm the Jerks, I'm just trying to crush this Jinx, dude. Like Kog'Maw, he's not as weak in the early game as people would maybe necessarily think he is. Like he can still do quite a lot of good damage because of his W, which he does start with, and he's in like a 1v1, he would beat Jinx. So Sejuani comes into the mix and Nami maybe misses a bubble. That's definitely an advantageous situation where the Jerks can definitely put behind someone that they really need to perform on the enemy team.
Also to point out, the mid lane jungle synergy is insane here for both. That's kind of insane for both teams, but I really like the Jerks more. Sejuani Aurelia feels really strong, especially into Orianna. What is Orianna going to do? Like, you have to get through 2-3 different types of CC and hope you don't die. And there might even be 4. Like, oh my god, it's scary. And how are you going to get away without burning your flash every time?
Is absolutely disgusting. All you gotta do is like land Sejuani ult on like one person, and then Irelia will stop their retreat, if you will, and then because that's what she says when she ults, and then it's just a one fight from there.
But I'm honestly, ease of execution here, again, it falls on Indiana Tech has a way easier composition to execute. Yeah, the Nocturne and Orianna thing's kind of gimmicky, and it takes a little bit of execution to use Nocturne properly. But at the end of the day, you have a Jinx and Cassante. And I guess it's the same idea that the Jerks have going. You have that big Sejuani, and you have a Kog'Maw. If things go sideways, Lulu's going to make that Kog'Maw go insane. It's a pretty good draft either way. I think both compositions are doing a very similar thing, just slightly different. But if I'm playing this myself, I'd rather be playing Indiana Tech's draft.
Yeah, one thing I will say as well is that the Jerks, they do have the potential to do exactly what they did the last game, and that's have two strong split pushers that are good at sieging. You got Camille that can just absolutely destroy turrets. You've got Irelia who can do good in 1v1s and absolutely destroy turrets. Kog'Maw, if he goes and lanes with either one of them, like they go mid with him or something like that, he also helps destroy turrets very fast.
Yeah.
So
the problem that concerns me is this Nami and Jinx early is really squishy. Nami is like some of the lowest base stat total or base armor in the game, if I remember correctly, and Kog'Maw's just gonna be pinging her because her Kog'Maw's range is probably a bit longer than Nami's. So realistically, there's a world where they just get bullied out of lane.
yeah, Kog'Maw with W active has the longest auto attack range in the game.
Well, there
And it
you
also
go.
gives him extra magic damage. So like, yeah, it's very likely that if this guy, I'm assuming this guy is an even better Kog'Maw than me, and I know how to do this properly. I feel like he's just gonna maybe crush them early on, like especially the Nami, like you said.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup for sure. I will have to see how both teams kind of navigate it here. All eyes are kind of going to be on this bot lane here. Actually, all eyes are everywhere in this game. It's going to be a very chaotic and bloody game. As the teams kind of roll out here, it doesn't look like we're going to have any little one shenanigans. Everybody's kind of going their own separate ways. Generic starting spots.
I wouldn't think so either. Both these comps don't really have too much crazy level 1 engage unless you land like a Nami bubble, but obviously that's not the thinking going on here. But ooh, might be able to catch her out just a little bit. Good early damage being done. Nami should be.
Yeah, Nami getting punished there, not having very high defenses. Gonna go ahead and opt to take the reset because it did happen early enough where I don't think it's really gonna matter. But it was some free stacks for the jerks.
Yeah, sorry, I was saying the same thing, but I actually cut out. But yeah, it does give them at least a little bit of early bush control, and it lets them know that like, okay, the jungler is likely not starting down here if they're chilling around here with us.
They would have been over there for the leash and ready to go. Nocturne also opting to start on the top side, so both junglers pathing down here. So I'm curious if it's going to be full clears for both of them, or if they're going to do some partial clears and go for some early ganks in maybe this like volatile top lane, maybe mid lane.
Yeah, for Nocturne, I feel like is going to be full clear, but Sejuani or counter gank, but Sejuani might go for an out-and-out gank of her own, like we said.
Yeah, it is very important for Nocturne to get to this level 6 because if he doesn't, he's not ulting, and without this ultimate, he's not really providing very much to the team because he just kind of walks at people, and that's about it. So, and then obviously the synergy with the ball doesn't happen without the ultimate.
Yeah. And if I could just get a little bit of a look in the mid lane here real quick, if we could. Yeah. Oh, good stun there from Irelia, but she doesn't want to take it because she's just barely into her range. But see, this is exactly what happens. She hits you with something, she autos you a few times, and you're totally done. And exactly just like that, Evil Troy playing Irelia exactly the way she's supposed to be played in the mid. Doesn't matter who you're playing, control mage or not, you're toast up against Irelia.
It's such a tough matchup. It's like, you just have to take your L. You have to keep walking backwards and miss everything. So Aurelia is now up 12 CS, a ton of experience, probably a level and a half. There goes the flash from Nami. Oh no, this is off to a bit of a rocky start from Indiana Tech. It's kind of just a chaotic start.
The worst thing is that all Orianna was able to get on her back was refillable potion. Ugh, that is so rough. In the meantime, Aurelia's already got some damage and auto attack speed boosting. This might be the start of some bad.
Yeah, losing your summoners that early and then coming back with a refillable feels terrible, especially into Aurelia, because Aurelia is going to punish you even harder for being behind.
Oh, Nocturne might be in a little bit of trouble here, my friend. Flash from Aurelia, but great usage of the bow. No, and she stuns him, but doesn't matter. That was just really good usage of all their abilities, but Nocturne up to being away.
Just not a high enough level yet. Not tanky enough to actually be able to play the game that way yet. Sejuani can't be turret diving with that item. Otherwise, they really could have went for it because I mean, look at it. Aurelia's got the recurse bow, and there's only a refillable on the Ori, so some good old classic slobber knocker in the top lane. Just two guys beating the crap out of each other. Nami trying not to get turned into fish fry. Off to a rock. Yeah, just kind of, their flashes are getting blown like candy for Indiana Tech. I don't know if they're getting caught out or it's just like unfortunate. But, well, obviously just losing the 1v1 to the Aurelia, but Nocturne gonna go get the fear there.
Ooh, close one there. And it's looking like, huge for the... that's gonna be just enough damage to take him down, because Dante might be in some trouble. Nah, he's gonna be fine, but well played by final boss of Ohio on the Camille, completely outplaying the Nocturne there.
Ramping damage from turrets does hurt. And the Aurelia stun, not gonna do anything about it. Triple stacks though, gotta be careful. If you walk up here, you can die. You gotta play this very carefully. However, credit here for the recovery for Orianna has stabilized CS for the most part.
Yeah,
they're going to be down. They're going to be down 4 or 5 CS, but
this wave state for Orianna though is really not ideal. If you look, it's like pushing super duper hard, and Sejuani is going to be here as well. This is looking like a possible death angle for him.
Yep, no flash either. All right, Aurelia missed the stun, so Ori gets to walk for free. What was that?
Just some question pings, I guess, going on down in the bot lane. A little bit confusing plays from from the jerks.
We got some gamers in the house. That's what we got. So Sejuani's going to go ahead and take a look at these Void Grubs because once again, like we talked about earlier, when you're playing Camille, you really, really want to have those Void Grubs so you can split push. When you're Aurelia, you really, really want those Void Grubs. So putting maximum priority on that is so worth it compared to like trading off a dragon. But it doesn't even look like that Indiana Tech's going to contest the dragon, so it looks like they're just going to get their cake and eat it too.
I mean, hey, they might even get the dragon here as well, like we were saying. They've got pretty much permanent prio in mid lane whenever they want it, they can get it. They got permanent prio in bot lane whenever they want it, they can get it. And Nocturne is not 6 yet, so he's not really at the stage where he's super useful in a team fight. So
Nocturne will be hitting 6 here soon, probably off of this off the Scuttle Crab he's hitting right now. If not, it'll come off the blue buff, but let's see it. Level 6. It is. There it is. So this is like, they could go after top here. I think this is a top lane, if not a top lane gank, it's a invade here.
It is definitely a gank angle. I think what they're going to do is they're going to have Cassante just push in the wave, and then as soon as Nocturne is done killing that red buff, they're going to look for an angle onto her.
This is scary timing. They got to do this quick if they're going to make this happen. Because they wasted the all-out doing that. And Camille's E is probably up. This is bad. They can't. They needed to go for the dive and not. They needed to bail on the red buff, I think. But uh-oh, Aurelia playing a little greedy to the turret here. No shockwave though, so Jerk's gonna go ahead and claim the dragon here too.
If Orianna didn't have the shockwave, 100% dead, but placed it just well enough to where she's able to pull Irelia off of her to where she can't dash on her again and threatens the death if she does try to. So, yeah, well played on that one. A little bit of danger going on here for the Nami once again. As predicted, so it is. This evil Void guy is just having his way like his Burger King in the bot lane with Nami.
And there's absolutely, I mean, just getting turned into fish fillet, getting pinged all the time. Can't do anything. And I mean, let's look at the items here. It's bot lane, it's both just two boots, and support's kind of got an item diff here, but honestly, everything's pretty even. It's just like a cloth armor here and there, but
oh, great hit from Evil Troy. It's going to be taking her down to half health once again, and Evil Troy is going to be able to regain that health a little bit better. All he needs is just one more good hit. One more good engagement on this Ori and she's toast.
And there is the dash. Is there an ultimate to follow up? Nope, no. Oh, hang on.
Oh,
here comes a Nocturne.
Might get the turn and burn? No.
Great coverage by the Nocturne. Using that ultimate defensively rather than offensively is a good technique. Jinx is going to go ahead and pick up the rest of this farm down here. The top lane's actually pretty stable. I know Camille does have an elimination from earlier, but like, Cassante's kind of big chillin'. Got 100 stacks in that tier, well on our way to their first item. Probably an Iceborne Gauntlet this game because it's a Sheen. A little more aggressive option than what we saw earlier. Ooh, if that had gotten knocked the wrong direction, Camille could have absolutely been kidnapped there.
Oh, it's looking like a little bit of a invasion into the bot lane. Nocturne's not quite able to deal with it, and so, yeah, they're going to try and get some snipes onto them under the turret, but without that wave, nothing much is really going to happen.
Nope, they can push them off the wave, and there's not much they can really do about it right now. It's still early game. You kind of just, the turrets are there for a reason, right? So, he's got to reset and wait. Objectives coming up here. Dragon's not going to be up for another 2 minutes. The Void Grubs are respawning right now, so we would not be surprised to see the nerds make an immediate or the jerks make an
The
immediate.
nerds.
Yeah, the nerds. The jerks make an immediate dash for the. Wow, 1-for-1. That's gonna be more worth it for Aurelia because if you notice the wave, it's yeah. Orianna's missing all of that experience. Sejuani beelining it right for the grubs. Let's see if they can actually fight this. I don't know if they can. Can Camille and can they really contest this? No, they can't.
I don't think so, no. Not without Irelia there at the very least.
Aurelia no teleport either.
But if
So
she
it looks
was
like
there,
they're
she'd
not
probably
getting
be able
it.
to 1v2 them, honestly. She's got that Blade of the Rune King up.
Oh, the Bork. That's pretty scary. All right, it looks like they're just going to go ahead and opt to take the reset. All right, Camille is back. And Nocturne has taken a 3-3 split. Dragon will be up in about a minute, so we expect to see the junglers rotating that way. It looks like Sejuani is already there, so she's probably going to take a gank or do something and then go for the dragon. Maybe clear out some vision. It looks like it is going to be an attempt on the Orianna. Nocturne and Cassante going to go ahead and go in on the Camille and get nothing off of it except a flash.
Yeah, oh, a flash coming in from Cassante. I thought that was going to be a flash fail, but it really almost wasn't.
That was a little
Camille,
aggressive. Little aggressive, gamers. I like the idea, and I would have done it too. But you don't have that much damage yet. You can't be doing that just Cassante that early in the game. Now that you have your Iceborne Gauntlet, you can be playing like that.
Oh, good one from Orianna, though. She should be going down still, though. Evil Lobster and Troy got so much health, they're going to be able to eat all those turret shots.
Good attempt, though. It was a nice shockwave. Just unfortunate they got stunned by both ultimates, so... Or rather, the ultimate and the freeze. That's the 2v2 I was talking about, though. The synergy between Aurelia and Sejuani, it's insane. Cassante gonna go and try and interrupt the backs here. Why not? I mean, you're Cassante. I actually think I think you can get a kill here. Camille does have ultimate, but like, it might be a little dodgy. Especially with the enemy team having Mountain Drake now. You kind of just have to walk off.
Yeah,
Cassante gonna go and look at the proxy, I guess.
Instead.
Might as well. Stop the back again.
That is a lot of Borks coming out here for the jerks. If you notice, he already got it completed for Aurelia, already completed for Kog'Maw. And that Cassante is just not going to have a fun time this game.
And
He's
for
gonna
all
lose
intents and
his
purposes,
health.
Camille has a Cho'Gath Q that deals true damage as well, so... Camille gonna go and take a reset here, finally. Does have a Triforce.
Oh, might have a little bit of an angle here, but not quite. Looking like Camille's not too keen on it. Makes sense. She doesn't have a whole lot of HP, but Cassante's low enough? Maybe, honestly? She's really debating it. Looking for a good opportunity. Irelia coming in here now as well. Remember, the Placidium goes in, looking for the follow-up dash. Cassante down. Nocturne lives, but that's definitely a good little kill there for them. Might honestly try and transition to this and taking the whole top turret.
It looks like that is not going to be the option. Aurelia's going to teleport mid because they want to deny more resources from the Orianna rather than the Cassante. It's more important to punish Orianna for being gone because she's already further behind the Aurelia. And Cassante is going to scale no matter what, versus if you can stomp Orianna out, you can just kind of keep her out of the game. Jinx doing a pretty good job of not dying, scaling up pretty well. I mean, not on an item yet, but like also not dying is not bad. Down about 20 CS, not ideal, but not getting punished yet. So that's pretty good. But they've been able to absorb some pressure and some ganks from Sejuani, but not really require some resources from Nocturne.
Nocturne will be in a position where he can ult bot lane soon, but speaking of ganks, oh, somehow, some way he doesn't get nailed by that Cassante, but yeah, it's gonna be still dying anyway, despite the good dodge.
And off he goes. So what now for Indiana Tech? They've gotten picked.
For Indiana Tech, just honestly, you gotta pray, man. Just get out your prayer hats and pray, bro.
I mean, let's look at it. Let's look at it. Outscaling. I mean, Cassante. I don't know if Cassante outscales Camille, but maybe it's a tough matchup. Mid lane. Oh, here we go. Here comes an engage.
Oh, but Lulu might be saving his bacon. No, he's 100% dead, just trying to take one with him. But Lulu might be able to get out, forcing the flash. Oh, barely manages to evade both the bubble and the W from Jinx. In the meantime, Camille might be in a little bit of trouble here. Can't dash out of that. And yep, it might be finally a kill back into the hands of Indiana Tech.
Nice way to reset the momentum here. So if we're looking at the levels and looking at, let's take a second. If we could look at the gold 2 observer, it is a 2,000 gold deficit at the top, which is exactly what you want to see. The jungle is pretty even. It's about 1,000 gold lead for Aurelia. I thought Orianna was way further behind. And
Same.
Jinx down about 1,000 gold, which, again, the gold distribution is not really where you want it for Indiana Tech, but it is where you need it for the Jerks. But it's just going to take a little bit of time, I think, to build to close that gap and close the level lead. Your Jinx just needs some time to farm up, but I just don't know if they're going to be able to get the Jinx farmed up in time before the Kog'Maw is up and online.
Yeah, I mean, Kog'Maw's next item is going to be... what's it? Never mind. Hold that thought for just a second. Nami going down for the count. Cassante getting a little bit tagged up here as well. Looking like he wants to go back in for seconds, funnily and crazily enough. I think it's because Jinx is there and they're going to try and get it. Jinx might be getting picked here now instead. Oh, the final boss. Ice Baby got a little too icy there. And now finds a gray screen as well for Indiana Tech.
Yep, and that is going to be the first death for the bot laner of Indiana Tech, who's done such a good job of just kind of absorbing pressure this game, but going to complete that first item here. I'm not sure how much that's going to matter right now. Looking at it, it's going to be a dragon claimed for the Jerks, setting up for another 22.5-minute soul this game, which is insane. I don't know. Indiana Tech needs to be able to steal this dragon, or it could be game over. If not, it's going to be a 45-minute game if they want to win this. And this is a lifeline game for them. Indiana Tech has to win this or they will be eliminated.
Yep, and it's looking like exactly what the Jerks' game plan is going to be happening. They've got Camille top, they've got Irelia top, sorry, they've got both their split pushers in the sides. Everyone else from Indiana Tech is just being forced to hold in the mid lane, and they're just never going to have any pressure if they don't find an ample way to deal with this. Nocturne does have ult for Irelia, but alone he would definitely lose that fight, so he's hoping to have at least one more person go in. They might be trying to do the ball thing with the ult. That's where the Placidium goes in, and Nocturne going to be ulting onto her, nearsighted, follow up with the flash, and down goes the Irelia. Huge fight for Indiana Tech.
They take down the Aurelia, but like they used an ultimate. They used one ultimate and 2 flashes. I'm not entirely sure that's worth it to shut down the Aurelia, but let's see if they can convert off of it. That'll really kind of determine it for me whether that's going to be worth the death.
Oh, it's better than dying at the very least.
Well, Aurelia's going to be back on the map in 15 seconds with teleport, and you use 2 flashes on your. I wouldn't be mad about the Nocturne flash, but the Aurelia flash or the Orianna flash, I'm really worried about.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Irelia trading her life for all that, very much worth her while.
Especially when the soul fight is in 3 minutes. Ori is not going to have her flash now.
Yeah, and
I guess Aurelia doesn't have TP either, but I think the flash is way more valuable there. The Jerks here are going to go and pick up the Otacon up top so they can get their upgraded boots. Not that that really matters. They're not really worth it most of the time. However, notably, Ori did finish her tier. The problem is this Orianna is not going to have her stopwatch done in time, or the Zanya's. So, I'm a little worried. I feel like this next fight could be disastrous if Indiana Tech doesn't find pick before the fight.
It's going to be a little bit hard for them to do that with their current level of vision, but as you can see, Ping is going to be looking for a little bit of vision control of his own. Does start down a control ward in his own bush.
A hull breaker completed by Aurelia. So we can expect this Aurelia will not be at the next team fight, but rather taking all the turrets. I don't know. I feel like that's not a correct build here. I feel like you should be building a team fight item, something like a Jack shows maybe, because you want to. If you just win this next soul fight, you just win the game. So why do you need the hull breaker for the split push?
Yeah, I understand the concept there for them. That's been their whole shtick throughout the whole day. They get a mid laner that can split push and a top laner that can split push, so that they can just always be punishing their opponents if they aren't able to do what they want to do in the team fights. And so, yeah, it's very on brand for them. You could potentially argue maybe a different item for team fighting situations, absolutely, but it definitely suits their needs, I feel like.
But
and I mean, Aurelia's still gonna do a buttload of damage with this, and in goes the charge. Kasante getting really, really tagged down to basically nothing, but yeah, it looks like they're going to be able to hold out just for the moment. And at the very least, the distraction is going to be enough to where their side laners are going to be able to take down their side turrets.
Yep, and here comes the Nocturne ultimate. They're going to try and get another pick on the Aurelia. Ionia does not fall. Oh, and the Zanya's just in time. And wow, down goes the Aurelia. 45-second respawn timers here. Will be up in time for the Dragon, but won't be back. Won't be able to run back in time. The rest of the Jerks just going to go ahead and turn their head or turn their tails and leave. Go ahead and reset and try and get back to the Dragon in time. We'll have to see.
In the process of that, though, they did take the mid turret and the inhib and the top lane home turret. So, yeah, still very worth their while. Irelia is going to be maybe a little bit late to the party, but she'll still be able to get there probably before the end of the fight and at least mop up shop.
Now, note.
And if Indiana don't like hard win this fight and Irelia turns up, then it could very well be an opportunity for a Jerks to end the game.
Absolutely, but something you have to remember here is Orianna has both Zanya's and the Seraph's Embrace shield ready to go because she didn't use, or she used the Hourglass or the Arm Guard previously. But it looks like, oh my, it looks like Camille's gonna get caught out. But Jinx is also dead. The Dragon, the Soul's already gone. 1 for 1, but the Soul trade is not worth it, ladies and gentlemen. The Baron will be up in 55 seconds, so they can either go ahead and try and win the fight. It looks like they're going to snuff around for a fight, and if they can get it, they'll take the fight and win, but if they can't, they'll just take the Baron for free and win.
Yeah,
but,
I think they're looking for the Baron.
Soul.
Yeah, this is a huge moment for the Jerks. The fact that they were able to, 1, kill the Jinx, 2, just... It does stink that Camille had to give away her shutdown for that, but like at the end of the day, it's still like you're still getting much more gold worth of stats than you lose in Camille's death. So... yeah, I think as soon as they go for this Baron, Indiana Tech, they better make sure if they contest for this Baron that it's a damn good contest. Because if they do lose it, like if they go down like 2 of their people, then they can just easily turn for the end after getting Baron.
Yeah, but it's really dicey here. So I mean, you have to go for the. Honestly, from the Jerks, I don't know that I like them claiming the Soul here. I think they should have just let it go, because now they have a lose condition. If they claim this Baron and don't win with it, if Indiana Tech's able to steal the Elder Soul, there's a chance they lose the game. It's not a guarantee, but like it's a backup plan that wouldn't have otherwise been there. And I don't think they needed the Infernal Soul to win the game.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't hurt him to have, I feel like, but Irelia now going to be pushing in the wave and backing up so that her tempo is good with the rest of the team. I really do like that. So she, instead of completely backing, she's just gonna wait on the bush and see where the chips fall for the rest of the team. And so while the rest of the people push down mid and Camille go down side, this is exactly the formation you want for an endgame scenario for the Jerks. Nocturne in the bush, looking for an opportunity. Ball is going to be on him. And if he can manage to land something onto this Kog'Maw, it could be a shift, a big old turn of the game. He sees him. Does he dare go in? We're about to find out.
It's a 1v1 or 1-3-1 setup, exactly how you want it. A split push from the top, split push from the bottom, and then 3 people in the mid. All right, here we go. Nocturne's going to go in on the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw's going to be saved by the Lulu ultimate, and down goes the Nocturne.
Oh, the peel is just way too good for the Jerks. They just completely demolished the enemy team and the turrets all in one fell swoop. These comps are looking pretty nasty for them, and they are going to be making it through, I believe, in second place now with this win.
Yes, they are. So we'll take a look at the updated scoreboard here in a second once it's up to date. That was a pretty quick 26-minute game, so the other games might not even be finished yet. But with that, Indiana Tech is unfortunately eliminated from the tournament today. They will not be advancing. So I think that all but seals it, the top 4 to be UC Pink, the Hot Dogs, the Jerks, and the Vikings are going to be advancing, I believe.
Yep, I think it's going to be just about exactly what we thought coming into this. Indiana Tech, unfortunately for them, are going to lose at the last possible opportunity to surpass the Vikings. And Vikings, even if they do lose this one, are secured in their 4th place spot. So looks like it's going to be the Jerks, Hot Dog, UC Pink, and Vikings in your top 4 spots moving into the playoffs.
Yep, the playoffs being the best of 3 format. Definitely not GA coming out and trying. Hopefully they can get a dub here. But they came so close so many times. So close. I'd like to see them get a win. Because it doesn't really matter if the Vikings lose, right? It's just an ego thing. So.
Right.
With that, an exciting game to wrap up that round. Honestly, once again, that split push is insane by the Jerks. And it's kind of a jerk move. Ha ha ha. See, do you see what I did there? Nobody likes playing against split push. Nobody. And if you do it, you don't have friends. Like the York players.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see from the sidelines what these other dudes are going to be trying to do to this clearly really good composition coming out from the Jerks. Like they just keep going with these split push mid, split push top type things, and no one's really been able to hold a candle to it from what we've seen today so far. So maybe the playoffs will reveal something different. But ladies and gentlemen, go ahead.
The answer. I'm going to throw out a prediction. Just in case. It's the Renekton. Renekton is the answer to the split push top. You build Renekton, and then you, it's like 2nd or 3rd item, you go Warmogs, you just send their turret, and they can never take your tier 2. Ever.
Dude, honestly, you should go and like whisper that to one of the other teammates there. Like you're there, so you could totally give them the secret. I'm sure that the Jerks would not be too happy with you if you did that.
No, but hey, thanks for. So I have been Fabled Justin, and this has been my pastor at Kamaka, aka Kyle. Thanks for joining us, and we'll come back to see you in the quarterfinals.